Today, let's talk about what to do with our finished panels. Do we frame them or do we not frame them? And honestly, it's personal preference. I'm going to share with you my preferences and what I do on different types of panels, because some I will frame and some I will not. And I'll tell you why. So this particularly applies to smaller paintings. I generally, when I paint large, I will buy the widest, thickest in width of canvas that I can, because it just feels so much more luxurious, and I can paint around the edges, and it gives a very luxurious, simple, minimal feel that lends itself to modern decor. Let me show you what I mean. So this painting here has a 1.5 inch size width here. And if I could get it thicker, I will. Some of them you can find in 2 inches thick, and it really just has a great luxurious feel. But that isn't always the case for the smaller ones, right? So, and then there's wood versus canvas, and that's a whole other thing. It really is personal preference, but I do have both. So let me show you this one. This is a 12 by 12. And you can see it's wood, and it's really nice and thick. And the sides are 1.5 inches. And so I just simply paint around all the sides, right? And I tend to, sometimes if it's a landscape, I'll carry this around, but if it's just a non-representational abstract, my preference is to let the paint just run and be very raw on the edges. I love that look. And so you may love just painting it a solid color, or some artists will take painter's tape, put it here, and have them clean, blank, white, pure canvases. It's all relative, right? But like something like this, I don't frame because it's luxurious and thick enough that I don't have to. I let the client decide that, right? Okay, but here's the question. What do we do with all those thinner practice panels that we have, right? All of us, I know, we buy like those multi-4 packs of thinner canvases, the ones that are like, you know, this thin. I think this might be 5/8 of an inch, but you lose me with those 5/8, 7/8. I am good at the half mark, the 3/4 mark, but either way, you can see it's a thinner canvas, right? Those multi-packs, it just does not have that luxurious feel when we hold it up to the thicker ones. And I'm sure you can see that. So what do I do in that case? Because we have tons of these where we practice, and you know, after so many times practicing, sometimes we get something we really love and we want to like hang it or sell it. So here's what I do. I buy a floater frame, and you can get these particular ones off of Amazon. I will include my affiliate link below if you are interested in what it is, so you can see, right? But they're great, and they're affordable, and it's got a nice thick edge here, so it gives that luxurious finished feel, which is what we want. And because of that, it gives a higher perceived value. So now watch what happens. All I'm going to do is take this thin panel and I'm going to pop it in here, and look at what a difference, right? What a difference that makes. And now it's got this finished edge, and all I do on the back here, it's got pre-drilled holes. I screw it in, okay? And then you just have to make sure you measure to get a screw thick enough to go in but not go all the way through. And that, you know, just measure it. That's what we do. Now, artists have glued in the past, but it almost always comes undone. And the last thing you want to do is have a client have this hanging for 6 months and then it pops off and falls off in their house, and then they're contacting you. And it doesn't give a good solid feel. It makes them question the quality, and then they either send it back to you, you've got to redo it, and it's just not worth it, right? My thought is do it right the first time, and you create a great standard of quality for clients or yourself if you want to hang this in here and just display it in one of your rooms, right? We all get to that point where we've got enough practice panels and eventually it becomes something we really love. So why not showcase it? So just consider that. I do not do the frames, losing my thought here. I do not do the frames for these thicker ones, just for the thinner ones. And it really does give that luxurious feel. So if you've got a ton of them around and you're looking to, use them and display them or maybe even sell them, this is a great way to bring extra value to small paintings.